The 2025 Jeep Rubicon X is extreme. Upgraded suspension with a 1.5-inch factory lift and 35-inch tires for extreme off-roading. Steel bumpers with LED fog lights and headlights. Red Rubicon accents and badging. Upgraded Napa leather interior for extreme comfort. Extreme tech with a big touchscreen. Automatic 4-wheel drive available and front and rear lockers. Tough machine 17-inch alloy wheels with bead lock. Park Sense rear camera and a front trail camera to see what's up ahead. The Wrangler Rubicon X has the extreme off-road features and the best on-road experience. What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan Sewell Sells on the Bullweevil Circle in Enterprise, Alabama at Mitchell Jeep, and you see behind me a 2025 Wrangler Rubicon X in the beautiful Anvil, and we're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna go all the way around so that you can decide if this vehicle has all the features and equipment that's right for you. So let's jump in. More car vids. More car vids. Getting started up front, this beautiful Anvil exterior really shines in the sun, and I love the Rubicon and Rubicon X features of the red because I'm very partial to red. This Rubicon is really, the Rubicon X is really like a standard Rubicon with all the order options checked. So it's a combined standard with the Rubicon X, every other package offered on the Rubicon, and you can see that it does sit up a little bit higher from this point because it has a 1.5-inch factory lift. Also, these 35-inch tires on 17s are upgraded, so you have the BF Goodrich KO2s ready for any rocks, sand, even a nice quieter, not quiet, but quieter ride on the road. And these are machined aluminum, so they're tough and durable looking, as well as the black painted pockets there, and it's a bead lock, the best for off-road. And of course you have a lot of rubber, so depending on your terrain, you can inflate or deflate as necessary there for the right amount of traction. Also, these have rock rails built in as standard for a little bit better protection of your vehicle. And of course, take a look under there with all the mechanics of a Rubicon. This Rubicon X is designed for extreme off-roading. You can, of course, disconnect the front sway bars as necessary, but also you have a front and rear lock, Tru-Lok, which is designed to lock those in and get through tough situations. Speaking of tough, this one has your steel bumpers with LED fog lights and LED headlights up front, so you can have the best visibility, and even in this daytime runner right here. And I love, again, the red accents on the tow hooks. You can also see the 7-slot grill here, the front trail camera to see everything that's coming up. You have two options on the Rubicon X, which is one of the main differences between the Rubicon X and the 392 is the engine. So you can get the 4-cylinder or the 6-cylinder, and this one happens to be the 6-cylinder, the 3.6 we'll look at in just a minute. But this one, other than the engine, pretty much is a 392 with some savings, and if you don't need all that horsepower in that 6.4 liter, this is the next best option. As we continue around, these 35s are wider than your standard tires, so they have this little lip here to help catch any sand, mud, water, whatever the case may be, just to help things look pretty on this fender flare here. Of course, you have these emblems and these nice little accents even up front on the hood, and of course this Rubicon is a color keyed, so it's a 3-piece hardtop with your Freedom top up here, and then color keyed all the way around. And we'll jump inside in just a minute as well and look at all the features. These mirrors are heated with your triangle for the rear cross path detection, and that is also a part of the active safety that is standard now, the active safety package. So there's so many things that you can add to a Rubicon individually, but this one has all of them on that Rubicon X. Still moving around, here is your fuel door. And this one does have a cap on it, so you can, of course, just flip it open. If you want to change it to a locking cap, you can, but you have a standard regular cap. And the bumper back here is steel as well, so you have more integrity and strength as you're in different off-road positions instead of crunching the standard plastic bumpers. This one also has your hitch receiver included with a nice little rubber cap and everything else you need as far as the wiring. Also, you can see the park sense sensors in the back, and of course your rear camera. You also, this is a 5-wheel and tire package, so because it's a bigger wheel and tire, you have reinforcements back here to hold it with a couple of nice looking additions. And as we unlock back here, you can see that this one also has your automatic sensing as those lights came on, so you can keep it locked and unlock it from back here. Of course, you have your JL badging right here, made in the USA. And you have a nice amount of storage back here. These are, of course, your bags for your tops. You can fold this down 60-40 and also have a armrest, which we'll look at. Of course, body color roll bar, which is nice. And you can see that on the Rubicon X, it's actually a insulated with a headliner, so it's a lot quieter than your standard top, and you even have those sections up front. So instead of having to add those aftermarket, this one comes with it standard, and so it's a lot quieter inside, which helps with that comfort. And of course, you have a DC plug right here, your Alpine system, which is part of the traditional Rubicon Tech package, but is standard on the Rubicon X. And then you have a little bit of extra storage right here when needed, which is nice. And also you have your tire tools underneath here and nice little holding spot for when you take your doors off and things like that, to all your little bolts and everything to hold those there. Rear defrost and wiper in the rear, of course, to keep everything visible for you. And here's another look at that extra support back here, just reinforced, heavy duty. And again, I love this Anvil. It's a very popular color. It's one of those muted colors. And this, as long as the 4-door Wrangler is, sitting up a little bit just makes it look a lot more aggressive, but also just fits it really well with these wheels and tires and that extra spacing given with that 1.5-inch lift. You see on the windshield some of the grids there. It does have a built-in antenna right above the window sticker, as well as the camera in the windshield for the active lane management. And the glass, of course, is the Corning Gorilla Glass, which is supposed to be more sturdy, so less rock chips. And that's one of the, and it's acoustic, so it's a little bit quieter as well. Now let's check out the power plant. Here's a look at that 3.6 liter, and if you'll remember, early 25s weren't available with an automatic in this engine, so now they changed somewhere around December or January, so we changed our ordering to have a greater availability of the 3.6 liter, which I appreciate with its 285 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. Gives good performance that we're really accustomed to. It was just kind of a ordering snafu there for a little bit on the behalf of Jeep, till they realized that the 4-cylinder is nice with the turbo, but some people want the naturally aspirated 6-cylinder as well. And of course, now we can have the automatic 8-speed transmission. But as you look around here, you can see some clear fluids, a lot of wiring here for to keep everything running the way it should. Here's your ABS unit here and brake fluid right next to each other, and also the coolant reservoirs up top. So pretty tight in here. You have your battery here, fuses here, air box here with this nice little baffle to make sure all the air comes in just right and no extra dust or dirt comes right through there, right into the top of the engine. And with this setup and the standard hitch in the back, the receiver there, you can tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is perfect for any additional needs that you have for cargo or for other toys or necessities when going camping or off-roading. And with the standard equipment of the hitch receiver in the back, this powertrain will allow you to tow up to 5,000 pounds, which helps you accommodate any additional cargo or utility, or any additional toys that you need or supplies when off-roading or camping. So that's a good benefit also. And of course, with this V6, you do get a little bit better fuel economy than you would in a 392. And yes, there is quite a difference in horsepower, but this one's more for the everyday on-road, off-road, and definitely has a lot of the same appeal with the off-road features. But this Rubicon X is standard with everything, so it's ready for on-road, off-road. And speaking of some of the on-road comfort, let's check out all the goodies inside. So going inside, just like the rear, we have a button here to lock, or as we touch, it senses our hand and unlocks it. And as I've already mentioned on the intro, this one's standard with the Napa leather package, so you can see the red stitching here on this black leather, the Rubicon embroidery, which is really nice. And these are very comfortable seats, and also a power seat with extra controls here. So you have a way to get it just right for every driver. Of course, the door cards are very traditional. You have a little cargo net down here, your power locks, power mirrors, simple removal here with one cable, and then everything else is real easy on the outside to remove these doors. And of course, they slide up now instead of trying to, when you loosen this, they just come up, which makes it easier. And as you look inside here, you see the traditional circle vents, which are easy to control. Nice red accents going across the dash. And of course, all the little nuances of the Jeep built in here, as well as the Alpine stereo across the top. And as I mentioned in the back, these headliners up front, so you can remove these individually, but also it has that sound dampening material in that headliner to keep it more insulated for temperature, but also sound. So even in the summer or winter, it'll be cooler or warmer, whatever the case may be, as you get things fired up. Let me climb in here. I love the design of this steering wheel. Nice big Jeep here. And of course, you have your phone control. This is for your adaptive cruise control, which is standard on the Rubicon X packaging. Of course, a digital multi-information display, but you still have an analog tach and a speedometer with a digital speedo in the center if you choose. So you have a little bit of the traditional stuff in here as well. Big touchscreen, which is standard with navigation, and also has off-road pages that could help with different controls and different situations as you go off-roading or look at different performance options. And as we talked about in the intro, you have earlier, we have your front and rear lockers right here. Also off-road plus mode, which kind of changes the computer on your shifting and your acceleration and all those things. And here's your sway bar disconnect. Also, you have these aux ports for additional uses and features. Any lights or things like that, you can hook them up and control there. DC plug here, power windows right here. Of course, one difference between this and the 392 is this part-time system. So you can do 2 high or come on in to auto 4 high or part-time 4 high, whatever you want to do. Whereas, of course, the 392 is a full-time 4-wheel drive system. Also, big shifter here with the Jeep logo for your gears, and you can stay in drive or move over to manual and bump through those, whatever you choose. You also have heated seats, heated steering wheel, big knobs for easy control, push button start right here, as well as other features built in here, such as your sensors and your traction control or auto stop and start. You can disengage that. Up here you have a passenger notification as far as the airbag, the assist button, the SOS, and your auto dimming, hello there, auto dimming rear view mirror. And here's a closer look at this system. With just a couple of disconnects, you can remove these, and one person can do each panel at a time. Of course, if you're talking about removing some of the others, the other pieces back there would require a little bit more to loosen that up. As you can see, that bolt there, and also another person to help. You have LED lights built into the roll bar here, and I'm sitting in the seat. It's very comfortable, and just love the little touch elements and the fit and finish here on the Jeep as it gets nicer every year, it seems. Also charging with USB-A or USB-C and an aux port there, so you can hook up everything you need. Nice, stylish cup holders here that are pretty low, so even if you have a higher thermos or mug, if you have your arm here, it won't necessarily be in the way. A little bit of storage there on top of the console, more storage here on the inside with another USB. So got a lot of power access here. And now I think it's time to check out the back seat. In the back, we do have a plenty good amount of room. This seat, of course, is leaned back a little farther than I would drive with it, but you do have good knee room. Of course, you have a cargo net and hooks for other storage to help keep bags upright. Similar design on your door card, of course, a little bit smaller door because you're right here almost over the rear axle. Still have the Napa leather seats back here with the same stitch patterns. Also, you have power window controls here in the center, and your USB ports right here, A's and C's, and then a power port for 115 volt. So pretty hooked up there as necessary. Then you have this nice little armrest that I mentioned with cup holders available, and you can even remove this if you don't need the center headrest here for visibility, and you can fold these down if you don't need the headrest, and then with another pull you can slide this down to give you more cargo availability. Again, it's a 60-40 split, so you can have passengers and cargo really easy. Of course, you do have the top tethers and the lower anchors for your latch system, so you can put a car seat back here, and also you now have more airbags standard with curtain airbags out of your roll bar, so a little bit more protection for every passenger. And I think that wraps it up for our conversation here on this 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon X in the beautiful Anvil. Starting to have the sun go down. Let's take one more look around, and we'll stop here at the Monroney sticker. As you can see, the Rubicon X right here, and all of these things are included in that except for your trailer tow and auxiliary switch group, the automatic transmission add, and the 488 rear axle ratio. Everything else would be an itemized package if it was a regular Rubicon and not a Rubicon X, and that pricing is $72,485 before any discounts or incentives. Which there are some available depending on the time of year, etc., as far as incentives. But I love the mono color all the way around. Love the look, as I mentioned, how it sits up a little bit wider for better traction and maybe just a little bit more stable on the road. If you have any additional questions on this or any Jeep Wranglers, just drop them down below in the comments, or you can text me at 334-718-0504. I am Jonathan Sewell Sells at Mitchell Jeep on the Bullweevil Circle and Enterprise, and I can't wait to see you up and down the road with this nice heritage grill in your very own Jeep.